Welcome to PGSN and our coverage of the Pleasant Grove Vikings basketball season. We open up in the 5 for the Fight Hoop Fest tournament here being held at Pleasant Grove High School. And our first game of day number 3 is our Pleasant Grove Vikings versus the Jordan Beat Diggers.
Yeah, and I am super excited to kick off basketball season. This is what I've been looking forward to essentially since my last football game that I commentated.
Right there with you.
And here we are. It is 9-something in the morning, 9:32 in the morning. Student section. I mean, there might be a student here. I don't really know. But
I don't think we're going to get the opportunity to have a student section analysis throughout this game because I don't think there's going to be one. I think tickets to this are, relatively expensive, as well as, it's 9:30 in the morning.
And it's the first day of Thanksgiving break. So
that's their first day on break. So I'd be surprised if all the students aren't asleep.
Yeah. So we got this, It's a game I've been looking forward to. Obviously, Pleasant Grove versus Jordan Beat Diggers. They're looking like a very senior-dominated team. Very different.
The Beat Diggers, not the Vikings.
The Beat Diggers. I'm talking about Jordan here. They're looking like a senior-dominated team. They got a couple of freshmen, 2 sophomores, and like 4 juniors.
And then the Vikings on the other side, they're very much a junior-dominated team. They've got 3 seniors, a lot of juniors, a couple freshmen, and then this has it listed as 3 sophomores. I only know of 1 sophomore, but Chaz Rose, Milo Johansson, and Jackson Brown are all sophomores.
Those guys are all sophomores.
And then there is 1 freshman on this team. Preston White for Pleasant Grove is a freshman who is on varsity, possibly.
I think he is on varsity.
He's expected to be maybe one of those plateau guys that's playing JV and maybe varsity a couple hours later, but expect to see a little bit of Chaz Rose, maybe today, maybe just at some point in this season, but that's someone that I'd expect the Vikings to give a couple minutes to try and develop a young guy, and hopefully he can stay for 4 years with this program.
Yeah, and hopefully, after the blue and white game, we were there, we were watching, and we were just talking about how the roster will be constructed because of the blue and white game. And I think that Preston White performed pretty good in it, so I think that he might have earned his spot on varsity, in my opinion.
Yeah, as we talk about the blue and white game, I think one big thing to note is the big standout for Coach McAllister was number 32. It was Clay Hansen. He had an amazing game. He drew a couple charges in that game, crucial charges. It was a comeback win for Team White that ended up winning?
Yeah, Team White. We were joking around saying that they were different PG restaurants, and White team was Chubby's Cafe, and it was versus Purple Turtle. And Chubby's Cafe
Chubby's
won.
took a W.
Yeah, after being down 17 in the third quarter.
It was a big comeback, and that was in large part led by Clay Hansen. So that's what I'd expect to see. Not a lot of from Pleasant Grove today, using everybody that they have available, but I think Clay Hansen is going to be a big part of this Pleasant Grove team throughout the season. I think he wasn't on varsity last season. It might take him a couple games to kind of get acclimated.
Yeah,
but I think he'll be a big piece of this Pleasant Grove team.
Yeah, and looking at what Clay Hansen did, he drew a lot. He drew many charges. I think he drew either 3 or 4. I think it was 4, though, during that game, which is huge, actually. Being able to draw charges consistently by an actual UHSAA referee.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like Coach Matt calling it or anything. So it was good to see. And then Clay Hansen, obviously, he hit a 3 to bring White team within 1. Got a stop down on defense. He immediately goes down in the corner, hit him for a 3, catch and shoot, and he hit it right from the pro look
sign that you can see at the top of your screen. He was on the other side of the court, but it's the same position for both sides. So, a big season. Pleasant Grove's hoping to have a big one. This week they have Jordan today, and then we'll see them in 6 days back here in Valhalla versus Davis. We'll have coverage for you on PGSN for that, and expect to hear, as you're kind of looking and wondering what you'll see from us this season from PGSN, expect to hear a lot of me and you.
Yeah, probably going to be some girls games that we broadcast with some of our up and coming members, and then just yeah, lots of me and Allen, maybe a me and Kimball in there at some point. And so I'm looking forward to this. It's a 22-game season, pretty much.
23. We counted this morning.
23. Okay, yeah.
So we're excited to bring it to you, and we hope that you guys are excited to kind of consume this season with us. We'll have every game for you here on PGSN, and we're talking every game. The team's traveling to Georgia. We're going right there with them. So we hope that you guys will stay with us and look at what you can get from us, and hopefully we can provide what you guys are looking for to be able to watch. Whether it's just your high school team that you want to watch, your alumni, whether it's your kid, grandkid, nephew, whatever you're looking to watch, we hope we can bring that to you at the highest level. But 7:29 remaining until we tip this one off here in Pleasant Grove. Jack, as we were talking to Coach McAllister, what should we expect to see from this offense? And we'll start with offense. What should we expect to see from this offense this season?
Well, in the blue and white game, there was a lot of really chaotic play. It wasn't necessarily organized playmaking. There was a little bit of Zoom offense that's being ran a lot by colleges these days. Not as much by the NBA level, but college and high school, I mean, they're much different, but I think that Zoom offense will actually work. And I will probably make an ad or a promo explaining what that is at some point. And it's reasonably understandable, but it's pretty much just like there's 3 guys on one side of the arc, and they kind of just rotate the ball around, and then they try to open up a backdoor cut, or they try to draw a double team, and then that opens up a backdoor cut. So you have that, and then I was looking. It's a much more 3-point dominated squad. As you can see, I mean, these warm-ups have been practically only 3-pointers the whole time. And we have some shooters on this team. I mean, Parker Van Dorn, he just can't miss. At some point in the blue and white game, he literally hit 5 for 5. He cooled off a little bit, but that's a given, And then, of course, Chaz, he's a great shooter. Carson, he's improved what his shot looked like from last year. It was still good, but Carson definitely didn't shoot very many threes last year because it was a very much Isaac Garrett-dominated squad.
Yeah, so expect to see a lot of threes, and that gets us excited. We love to see the threes when we barely shot them last season, but Vikings lost a lot of height on the offseason. That's what kind of forced this offensive, this change in how they run their offense. They had 3 players that were 6'8" or taller, them being Isaac Garrett, Braun Roberts, and Colby Dean. And then this year, their tallest guy is number 30, Finn Spilsbury, who's 6'7", and he's not going to play today. He's not suiting up for the varsity squad. So, he is. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He's on the opposite side of the court from us. But
I was going to say I saw him earlier, so he better be here. Ryan Hadley just dunked it. I didn't actually know he could, so that's fun to know. Look forward to any fast breaks this season, to be honest. A lot of people that can dunk on this team that you wouldn't expect. I'm not sure if Ethan Hilliard can, but he looks way improved from last year. He was just a JV warrior, as a junior. And then he played that one game for varsity against Corner Canyon.
He got hurt a little bit as well throughout the season. That kind of hindered his ability to make it back up to varsity and make his mark.
Yeah.
But I expect him to have a big role for this Pleasant Grove team as well. And he's wearing number 1. I expect to see number 1, Ethan Hilliard, and then number 32, Clay Hansen. Both have big games. And number 32, taken by Clay Hansen this season. Number 2 is taken by our faithful QB1, PG1. Carson Rasmussen is going to be wearing number 2 this season. So that's a couple number changes from last year. And then we've got basically a whole new squad. So there are a lot of new numbers here. But names that you might recognize if you tuned in last season or went to games. Number 3 still being worn by Makai Peterson. Number 4 being worn by Riker Mickelson, making his comeback today. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so he played in last year's Hoop Fest. He wasn't number 15. He was actually number 4. 3? He was number 4 last year. Yeah, because Makai Peterson was number 3 last year as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Riker can do. He was the freshman on varsity, obviously, with that McCaden Adams and Evan Anderson-led squad, which was it was a great year for Pleasant Grove basketball, and it was such a great learning experience for Riker to learn with these players that have been pretty much on varsity or part of the team since they were freshmen. But last year, of course, he got he got injured. He got injured during the Timpview game, Alta game, something. One of them.
He got injured against Timpview last season. He made his comeback on the football field this season. There's Riker Mickelson. He made his comeback on the football field this season. He had an amazing season, and now he's looking to make his mark on Pleasant Grove basketball. And he's still got a year to grow. As you mentioned, he was a freshman on varsity. He's still got a year to grow. Expect him and Carson Rasmussen, they're both juniors, and they're both guards. Expect them to kind of lead this Pleasant Grove team next season in the backcourt. And you guys can't see this, but every single person on Pleasant Grove's roster is listed as a guard. They don't have a single forward or center listed. So that's kind of why they turned to the three-point approach and, live by the three, die by the three. There are going to be some games where, this Pleasant Grove team could win by 20 plus if all their shots are falling, and there are going to be some games where it's going to be a struggle to score points, and they're going to have to turn it up on the defensive end. We'll see what happens today. Well, let's look over at this Jordan Beat Diggers team, and last Friday they're 0-1 this season. Last Friday they played Highland, a team out of Salt Lake City, and kind of struggled towards the end of the game. They got blown out, and they scored 1 point in the fourth quarter. So obviously that's one free throw. What can this Jordan team do to kind of, to kind of turn up the heat and maybe give this Pleasant Grove team a run for their money?
Well, no, they don't have heights listed on their player list, but as far as I can see, they look bigger in a few ways. They look bigger as in they are a bit more muscly than some of our players. Some of our players, they're not necessarily skin and bones, but they're definitely on the wirier side, the slimmer side. I mean, that's where Riker Mickelson comes in. Now it's going to be a comment I made before we switched over. But Jordan, I mean, they could probably use their height because they have people listed as forwards and centers and guards and forwards. They do have a couple freshmen. One of them does look extremely short, but maybe he's just a walking bucket. So I'm not really sure. I haven't scouted this team, but looking at how they kind of crumbled a little bit last week, I think that they're going to try to make a comeback. Try to rejuvenate themselves, be like, hey, we are the Beat Diggers. We are better than this. And so,
yeah, and I think,
yeah, and I'm real excited to see what goes down. And yeah, on a technicality, Jordan is the home team.
Technically, yes, Jordan is. Well, let's take a look. I think, from what I can tell, Jordan looks like they're listed as the home team for this tournament. Because Pleasant Grove's wearing white. That's kind of what I'm basing it off of. Obviously, there's the old adage, at least in football, that the home team wears white. Oh, Pleasant Grove is listed as home, which is not surprising. But, it's looking to be a big season for Pleasant Grove. Obviously, the not fun or not disappointing. The sad news that Coach McAllister, this is his final season. And so Pleasant Grove's looking to have a big one to kind of send him off the way he deserves. He's been a great, amazing coach for Pleasant Grove this is his 22nd season. The players love him. Fans, students love Coach McAllister. He's done so much amazing work, not just for this Pleasant Grove basketball team, but for, the school. And Pleasant Grove as a...
With multiple finals appearances and semifinal appearances in finals in 2019 and 2021 and semifinals in 2022, he's coached some great players. Dylan Jones, Jordan Ross, McCaden Adams, Evan Anderson, Isaac Garrett, Matt Van Komen, Casey Brown. All these players have been great underneath Coach McAllister. And we're looking forward to see what this final season can bring to us.
We're going to take a break for the national anthem. as we come back to introduce the starting lineups for the Pleasant Grove Vikings and the Jordan Beet Diggers. We're in game 1 of day 3 of the Five for the Fight National Hoop Fest tournament. There are 5 more games after this one today as the tournament wraps up. The starting lineup for Jordan, wearing number 0, playing guard, the senior Preston Cheney. The senior guard wearing number 2, Udochi Ihinacho. Excuse me. There are always fun names in sports, and that's one of them. Number 4, the senior guard, Jacob Thompson. Number 10, the senior forward, Trent Benson. And then Jordan's star player, the senior, the forward / center, Aiden Doyle. He's their highest returning scorer. Expect him to be a big piece, especially with his height, against this Pleasant Grove team today. 6'8" is what I believed Aiden Doyle was listed at. So I expect him to have a big game. Now for the Vikings. Their 5 starters wearing number 3, the 6'4" senior guard, Makai Peterson. They have not started the introduction, so
good one.
I know who's starting, but I feel like a little bit left behind.
I don't really know what they're doing. You know, I was just looking. Okay.
And now it's time to head to the home team, Pleasant Grove Vikings, starting their season off. Makai Peterson starting at guard, 6'4" senior. Wearing number 20, the 6' junior guard, Ty Palmer. That's a new face. Wearing number 32 for Pleasant Grove, the junior guard, Clay Hansen. Jackson Brown, the 6'4" sophomore guard. And wearing number 22, the sophomore guard, 6' Milo Johansson. Those are your 5 Vikings starters. 20, 24, 22, 3, and 32. So a lot of 2s in those numbers. Obviously coached by the ever-faithful, ever-present, amazing Randy McAllister. So Pleasant Grove, you're going to see a lot. We saw it in the blue and white game. They're going to sub 5 guys in and 5 guys out every time that they have the chance to. This is a team that is going to be sprinting up and down the court. Taking the tip for Jordan is number 30, Aiden Doyle. Taking the tip for Pleasant Grove is number 24, 6'4", Jackson Brown.
Carson Rasmussen isn't starting, which is not a move I expected to happen, especially after, I thought he wasn't even going to play, but.
As it's Cheney getting pressed in the backcourt, trying to find someone to get it to, and Clay Hansen tips it away, and the Vikings force a turnover.
Peterson's got it at the top of the key, gives it to Ty Palmer, takes the 3, going to drive in. Back out to Clay, to Milo. Milo drives into the left side. Jackson Brown, and there's a foul.
The foul is called on number 2, Udochi Ihinacho. 7:36 remaining here as Pleasant Grove started the game off how we kind of expect them to play this whole season. Fast, physical, tight defense.
Fast and furious.
And they forced a turnover. So as the inbound pass.
The inbound. Gives it to Makai at the top of the key. Back up to Ty. To Milo in the corner for Jackson Brown. His 3-pointer. He does not hit it.
But a big rebound.
Goodness. Gets it back out.
Top of the key, Hansen.
Off the back of the rim. And then Makai Peterson cannot get the rebound over Matthew Magnus. Sorry, I'm gonna get better at Jordan's squad in just a minute here.
So here's Cheney at the top of the key. He finds Ihinacho, goes down low. Kick to the corner, it's Heaney. Hits it, 3-0 Beet Diggers.
It's not Cheney.
Cheney, excuse me.
Ty Palmer drives in, kicks it out to Milo. He shoots a 3, no good.
Vikings fight for the rebound but can't get it. It's Ihinacho. And it's tipped out of bounds by Milo Johansson.
That pass was supposed to be to Trent Benson.
And here come the Vikings' next 5. It's Carson Rasmussen, Ryan Hadley, Ethan Hilliard, Riker Mickelson, and Andrew
Anderson.
So the Vikings, like we said, they're going to sub in 5 out. And here's a fresh new squad for Pleasant Grove.
You know, I'm curious to see how this game plan works, in the game, like in an actual game, not just a blue and white.
So here's Iheanacho. He's going to inbound it for Jordan. I'm not sure what the refs are talking about, but there's 6:46 remaining here in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Beat Diggers. Vikings down early, 0 for 2 on their three-point shots so far.
Might just be a little bit of actual first game jitters, you know. Just got to get her done.
So Iheanacho will inbound. And he
gets it into Cheney. Cheney gives it to Trent. Trent Benson to Jacob Thompson. He shoots a mid-ranger, no good, off the side of the rim.
Rebound, Andrew Anderson.
Gives it to Ryan Hadley. He's on the left elbow. Gives it to Ethan. Back up to Ryan. Ryan in the corner to Andrew. No good.
Rebound, Mickelson. Mickelson out to Rasmussen. His
Carson.
Shot. In.
He hits it.
Vikings match it. We go to 3-3.
He hits his first three.
As now you'll see full court press defense from Pleasant Grove.
Hits his first shot of the season, in fact. You know, there wasn't a lot of three-point shooting from Carson last year. Here he is bringing the ball down, Carson. Oh, loses it.
He loses it, and it's grabbed by Cheney. Now Jordan pushing it up the court. As it's fumbled with Mickelson, a lot of pressure in that corner.
Jacob Thompson with the ball.
Tries a little floater, can't land it, and as it's grabbed by Hilliard on the rebound. Hilliard, now the Beat Diggers are pressing. Here's Mickelson, top of the key. Finds Hadley. Hadley drives in, left hand. Loses it, fumbles a little bit. Mickelson, pump fake, drive.
Layup.
Backdoor layup doesn't fall. So Mickelson's going to go to the free throw line to try and match this one up. Vikings' first free throws of the season.
Yeah, and I'm already kind of liking what I'm seeing here. It's very fast. It's a little bit difficult sometimes to like really know what's going on, especially with Jordan. They're also playing really fast, but I'll get their names down.
Mickelson's first is good. So Vikings, you know, they've taken every shot from three, as now they substitute the entire team except for Riker Mickelson, and he'll be substituted after this next shot. So
he might not be, though. He did play a lot of minutes in that blue and white game without being subbed, or he was going every other play. But there is
Jackson Brown's by the score table. So Mickelson sinks both. So 5-5 moves your score.
It's pretty much every minute and 30 seconds, essentially.
Yeah, that's what Pleasant Grove was aiming for. You play for 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and then you get to sit for 90 seconds and 2 minutes, and then you get to sprint again. Vikings full court press. Here's Jackson Brown as the Beat Diggers move it past the timeline. Iheanacho in the corner. Doesn't fall, but the Beat Diggers grab the rebound. It's Cheney. Cheney trying to work with his left hand. Picks it up. He's got to find someone. Tries to find Doyle, and there's a foul called on Makai Peterson. So Pleasant Grove defensively looking pretty sound, even with the full court press. They got beat on it once. Doyle was wide open in the post. But otherwise, they forced some mistakes, as theirs was almost another one. And
it's going to be Beat Diggers' ball again. It's off of Clay Hansen, so
he knocked it out of the hands of Aiden Doyle.
Yeah, Doyle's he's trying to like post him up a little bit, but it's not working. It's off the back of the backboard. I thought that was a violation. It's not allowed anymore. Ever since Wilt Chamberlain would just inbound it over the backboard, and then he would just dunk it. So, and that just turned into a rule for all basketball after that.
Ty Palmer forces the ball out of bounds once again, so the Beat Diggers are going to inbound as Clay Hansen pokes it out again.
He's not letting him get any pass or any shot off.
I'm sure Pleasant Grove is fine with this, because at some point it's going to frustrate the other team, and they're going to begin to make more mistakes than they already are. Here's Doyle down low, guarded by Makai. As there's a penalty or a mistake by the Beat Diggers, as finally Pleasant Grove forces their turnover that they almost got about 4 times.
Now it's Jacob Thompson that let it go out of bounds.
So it's inbounded to Ty Palmer. Ty Palmer crosses the timeline, starts to set up his play. Gives it to Hansen. Hansen gives it to Peterson. Peterson, top of the key, drives in left hand, kicks it corner.
That's Jackson Brown.
Bang!
He hits it.
8-5. Pleasant Grove with their first lead of the ball game. That's intercepted.
Jackson Brown.
As he gets fouled by Iheanacho. As Pleasant Grove's bench, specifically Coach Scoville, is very, very happy about that sequence of events. And now Jordan's going to substitute. Coming in for Iheanacho is Brant Steed, and coming in for Aiden Doyle is Walt Gooden. Gooden's also a big guy, taking Doyle's place down low.
Milo gives it to Clay up top. He shoots a three. He hits it.
And that's something that the three-pointers are going to do for Pleasant Grove. They were down by 8 just a couple minutes ago, and just like that, they're up by 6. But now here are the Beat Diggers on a fast break. Gooden lays it in.
Jackson Brown
Now the
tries
Vikings
hard not
go
to
quick.
foul. To Ty Palmer on the right side of the elbow, going to drive in. Kicks it back out to Mackay at the free throw line. Going to drive in all the way.
And one!
My goodness.
Mackay Peterson is fearless driving in. That's, maybe one of the only guys you'll see Pleasant Grove use this season to drive in. You'll see Pleasant Grove doing a lot of drive the ball in, kick it out, and I think Mackay Peterson's going to be at the head of that operation for most of the season.
I think there's going to be a lot of Mackay. I think Carson will drive in because he was fearless last year against 7-footers. And then also Riker Mickelson. He's going to be down low more than the other players. He hits his extra point.
And in comes Ethan Hilliard for Peterson. So Vikings substitute for the 3rd time this game. They've got a fresh new set of legs on the court, up 7 with 3:53 remaining here in the first quarter. As there's a mistake,
Dolan.
Here's Rasmussen. Fancy lay, doesn't fall. Mickelson on the bound. His doesn't fall, gets his own. Kicks to the corner for 3. Rebound Mickelson,
Back.
and one!
Oh my goodness. Don't give up on the play. And look what it ended up to being a second three-point play in a row after the steal and the substitution. This isn't even the same squad that did it.
4th time's the charm.
And like I was saying, that Riker's going to be the other guy down low, and he's also at the free throw line now after the and one.
That was a 6'2" Riker Mickelson who just got 3 offensive rebounds in 1 possession. As the Vikings take a 9-point lead, and they're in the double bonus. Jordan calls a timeout, 3:41 remaining here in the first quarter. What have you seen from this Viking squad so far that you like?
They're 17-17. Or 17
Excuse me, it's 17-7, so it's a 10-point lead.
What?
You can keep going.
Oh, I thought we were like running a commercial or something.
No.
So as Alan said, we're in the double bonus. Single bonus does not exist anymore.
Not in Utah, that is.
Yeah, not in Utah. There's no 1-on-1. It is automatically 2 free throws. So, do we call double bonus anymore? I mean, they still put it on the scoreboard as double bonus. It's just bonus now. We'll probably say it as double bonus and remind you guys, but maybe by the end of the season we'll just say we're in bonus now. We don't need to specify.
So the
that we
meaning
get
of
2
double
shots
bonus,
every time.
for those that don't know, is any foul that Jordan commits, whether or not it's a shooting foul, doesn't matter. The Vikings will get to go to the line for 2 free throws. As there's a turnover, Hilliard
Down low,
kicks it out. Rasmussen.
Doesn't even know what to do with it. Gives it out to Anderson. No good.
And now the Beat Diggers triple teamed in the corner. This time it's Gooden. Gooden.
On the outside, gives it to Thompson.
Thompson into Gooden. Gooden tries to kick it out to the corner.
Stolen
Hilliard
by
grabs
Ethan.
it. Cross court to Mickelson. Mickelson hesitates at 3, drives in, kicks it out to the corner. Here's Anderson.
Again.
Hits
He
it.
hits it.
20-7 is your score.
He doesn't give up on the 3. He trusts himself that he's able to hit it. And then they trap Jordan into the corner. Stolen by Pleasant Grove. Ethan
Hilliard
in the
out to
corner.
Rasmussen. Rasmussen, deep 3.
Oh, just off the back of the rim.
And it's rebounded by Hilliard. Now he takes his
the
own.
3. He hits it. Oh, my goodness.
And another timeout by Jordan. 23-7 is your score now. We just had a timeout.
Check
you can
out
see
this replay here.
Hilliard
That's the
just turns
replay.
around, just hits it.
And that is about the cleanest three-pointer you can see, pretty much, especially with that turnaround jumper. Absolutely amazing.
Vikings
I don't know-
have 7 people who have scored today. 6 of them have 3 points, and then you have Riker Mickelson who has 5. We'll take a quick break while the teams are in a timeout. We'll be right back. 23-7 is your score. 2:46 remaining in the first quarter. Vikings have new guys out there. Zane Windsor wearing number 10 is the only face we haven't seen yet. Today he's guarding the inbound pass.
It's going to be Jacob Thompson is inbounding.
5 seconds. As Mickelson pokes it away, but they're going to get another chance to inbound it.
Jordan, did they make any changes? I feel like I haven't seen number 1. Nope, Brant Steed was in. I guess he just hasn't really touched the ball yet.
As
Ryan
Hadley fouls.
Ryan kind of hit him more like football, to be honest. I mean, not like super, not like crazy hard, but like a little bit more straight up. It might have been even a flagrant foul.
So Vikings doubling. Carson hits the floor, and that gives Thompson open for a fast break. And called for a block is Andrew Anderson. He was going for a charge. Guess he just twitched right before he had contact made with him and got called for a block. So an and one opportunity for Thompson as Jordan's looking for their 10th point of the game. Vikings substitute the entire team.
We got Makai Peterson back on the court.
Makai Peterson is in. Clay Hansen is in there at the bottom or the right side of your screen. And then number 24, Jackson Brown.
Milo Johansson at 22 and Ty Palmer at number 20.
The and one is converted. So 23-10 moves the score as the Vikings go quick.
Here's Ty Palmer into the corner with Milo. Milo drives in a little bit, kicks it out to Clay. Clay shoots a 3 off the front of the rim. Here comes Jordan. This is Cheney. Just lays it in, nothing.
Charge!
A charge!
Clay Hansen hit his head.
Oh.
He immediately after he took the charge went down and was holding the back of his head. He's back up now. Still kind of holding that a little bit. We hope he's okay.
Gets banged up a little bit, making sure
he's going to stay in the game for now.
Making sure his eyes are still pointing straight out of his head. You know, they aren't going all cross-eyed, lazy-eyed feel. I mean, that's how I always feel if I get hit in the head. You're like,
yeah, I'm sure they'll talk to Hansen the next time they substitute to make sure that he is okay.
Here's Ty Palmer with the ball on the right side. Gives it to Milo. Milo fakes a 3.
Makai for 3.
His first, he does not convert. Here is...
Off the front of the rim, gives the Beat Diggers a chance to move the ball now.
This is Benson.
Here's Cheney.
Cheney? We'll call him Cheney. That sounds better.
Calling for a screen. He gets it.
And immediately the double team is converted from the screen.
I think Jordan's going to try to take advantage of that mismatch down low. They don't.
Turnaround jumper at the free throw line, no good. And here's Makai with the rebound.
You had a 6-foot Ty Palmer on an at least 6'6" Walt Gooden down low. Jordan couldn't find a way to get it to him. As Hansen drives, gets it taken away, but it goes right back to the Vikings.
Through everybody. Gives it to Ty Palmer. He shoots a 3, no good. Jackson Brown gets the rebound, kicks it out. It's going to be Pleasant Grove ball.
This is a Vikings team that is just playing with a lot of heart and a lot of hustle.
Yeah, and that's off the hands of Cheney. Yeah, this is such fast gameplay. It sounds weird saying gameplay, but it's exactly what it is. So
the inbound to Peterson.
Makai kind of looks to reset, seeing what Coach McAllister is going to say. Calling out a little bit of a play, bit of a setup. Here's Makai.
Makai drives left hand. Floater is good. Finger roll, 25-10 moves the score.
Thought he was going to try to dunk it there.
It's Makai's 4th and 5th points of the day. And another timeout called by Jordan. They're eating these up. They have, or I guess Pleasant Grove. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Do you think Makai Peterson can dunk?
I think if, you know, I was actually talking to Coach McAllister yesterday, and I asked him if he could dunk back in the day. And he said, I could dunk in college, only during practice. So I think Makai, I would guess he's probably the same way. He's got to get the steps lined up right, but if he does, I'm sure he could. He could give you a little slamma-jamma.
Open lane fast break, I think it could happen. I mean, Andrew Anderson, I've also seen him dunk in warm-ups, which, you know, is a little bit frowned upon, but he did it anyways.
I think if Makai feels good about the way he's approaching the basket, I think he could hit it. So a couple of stats that are sticking out to me right now. Jordan's shooting 50% from the field. The issue is they've only taken 8 shots. The Vikings have taken 19. They're shooting 42% from the field. So that's really what's given Pleasant Grove this 25-point lead is they forced 8 turnovers from the Beat Diggers. And the Vikings have done the opposite. They only turned the ball over once. Here's a fast break. As the Vikings are not going to be happy about that call, but Brant Steed draws a blocking foul down low. And the Beat Diggers are going to retain possession. This is the Vikings' 4th foul of the quarter, so there's 1 minute left. 5 is the magic number to get a double bonus.
I mean, we've only hit 8 shots in the quarter, and 5 of them have been threes. 5 for 15 from 3, 33% exactly, pretty much. So 1/3 of our threes are going in, essentially.
Live by the 3 and die by the 3.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a system that seems to be working against Jordan.
They get it into Gooden down in the post as he can't get his to fall. And now on a big fast break is Johansson. Johansson gets it into Palmer. Palmer gets fouled. So he's going to go to the line for 2 with 47.6 remaining. Palmer has not been at the line yet today. Mickelson has seen the line. He's taken 3 shots. He's perfect. And then Peterson had a shot as well that he sunk. So the Vikings have, now that I'm going to say this, they're going to miss. But the Vikings have not missed from the line yet today.
Ty Palmer's first is good.
So that takes it to a 16-point lead for Pleasant Grove. This is probably the best first quarter of the season you could have asked for this Pleasant Grove team. As the second free throw is good, so Steed will inbound.
It's going to be Thompson.
As a foul's called. I'm not sure what the foul is on, to be completely honest. I didn't see a hand go down for Peterson. It looked like he had both hands in the air. But
I think it was more of just a push out of bounds. So it wasn't necessarily a reach-in or a loose ball foul. It's mostly a personal foul.
But now this gives the Beat Diggers a double bonus opportunity, and it's going to be Jacob Thompson at the line. The Beat Diggers have shot 1 free throw today, and it was by Thompson, and he sunk it. So he sinks this one to make it 28-10. Excuse me, 27-11. Wrong team. Wrong team scoring.
Here's Thompson, their leading scorer so far.
There is 43.8 remaining here in the first quarter.
He's got 5 points on the quarter.
Into Rasmussen. We didn't mention it, but the Vikings did substitute. Here's Hilliard for 3.
Misses.
Quick shot doesn't fall. Jordan can't get a rebound. Mickelson gets them.
He hits another. Riker Mickelson's up to 7 points on the game.
They only have him in. I'm looking at the wrong guy. They only have him in for 4 rebounds, and I don't think that's right. I think he has a lot more than 4 rebounds. It's always been credited for, but the inbound now for the Beat Diggers is sailed. Can't be tipped. Thompson falls over, and it's grabbed by Anderson.
25 to go in the quarter here.
Anderson just kind of finds a lane, kicks it out to Hadley. Hadley for 3, and he's fouled.
Fouled on the three-pointer. It's not something you see often. He almost made it, too.
That was a vicious foul, too. Thompson kind of put his whole body into him. I'm not saying it was intentional. Sometimes you leap to try and block the 3, and you don't know where you're going. But he hit the floor pretty hard, but he's going to get 3 shots.
He connects with the first.
A lot of great Viking stats that we're seeing so far in this first quarter. We'll go over them a little bit after the quarter finishes. As there's the second one made, so Hadley's now going to get his 3rd and final free throw to try and push the lead to 20 here in the first quarter.
If you guys are confused why Jordan's score went up, it was actually 12 the whole time down.
And he airballs it.
The 3rd.
So he sunk one, sunk the second, like swoosh, like all nylon, and then the third one's short.
It's okay. The pass. Here's Thompson. He's got 3 Vikings.
Thompson he's been a little reckless with the ball. The turnovers have been an issue for, the Beat Diggers all around, but Thompson has 2.
He megs Riker Mickelson with the ball.
The inbound. Finds Steed. Steed gets it intercepted, trying to find Chaney. Here's Rasmussen on a fast break. Tries to draw the foul, and he does. He's going to get 2 shots.
Hilliard sunk does a little awkward backwards layup, and Hilliard draws a foul.
Hilliard sunk the layup behind him, so it didn't matter whether or not the foul was called. The Vikings were going to score. But the big thing for Pleasant Grove right now, So they're scoring, and they're scoring a lot, and they're forcing turnovers. As Carson hits the first, that pushes it to a 20-point game. Something I've seen that I've just absolutely loved from this Pleasant Grove team today has been their ability to force turnovers and to be just a menace defensively. And they've forced the Beat Diggers into a lot of mistakes as Carson can't sink the second one, but Hilliard almost puts it back.
Gets it. 2 seconds, 1 second.
The last second feed was late.
And it's going to go into the Pleasant Grove crowd with the 8th graders in the front row.
So after one, the Vikings lead 30. I'm pretty sure it's 31, but 32 to 12. Oh, it is 32.
You were looking at the actual scoreboard.
32 to 12 is the score. Let's go over a couple things we've seen. Riker Mickelson right now has been just an absolute dog for this Pleasant Grove team. That might have been what they were missing last season was Mickelson. 7 points, hasn't missed a shot yet, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. And he's only played 3 minutes.
It has Ryan Hadley down as only having 1 point when he sunk 2 of the free throws.
He did sink 2 of the free throws. So that's where they're missing a point, because the stats show that it's 31 to 12, and it's actually 32 to 12. So that's where the statistician is missing a point.
I don't know where he is.
We're not running the stats today. We will have stats for you this season. That is something that I would look forward to if I'm watching these games. We're going to have our main man, Kimball Ray, running the stats for us this season. But for this tournament, the stats are being run by someone else, so that's where he's missing a point. But the big thing that I was talking about, 10 turnovers for the Beat Diggers. They have 3 assists. The Vikings, on the other hand, have 6 assists to only 1 turnover. You're looking for, obviously, well, first of all, you're looking for a assist to turnover ratio over 1.
And
the Beat Diggers have an assist to turnover ratio of 0.3.
Yeah, we're playing really equal minutes here. I mean, it's basically teams of 5, and the one team of 5 is 5 minutes, while the other has 3.
Yeah, and then it doesn't show him in there. I guess he didn't record a stat, but Zane Windsor also got maybe 30 seconds of playing time in that first quarter.
He's not quite on the scoreboard yet.
We're going to see Chaz Rose, the sophomore, for the first time today. Chaz Rose, Jackson Brown, Ty Palmer, Milo Johansson, and I'm not sure who the 5th guy is for Pleasant Grove. They're missing one. It's Clay Hansen. He goes on the court right now.
So we got 3 sophomores, a junior, and a senior on the court here.
So I don't think there's a senior.
Clay Hansen's a senior, right?
He's a junior.
Okay, so there's 2 juniors, and yeah, because I am really smart, and I remember that we only have 3 seniors, and they're all, So anyways.
So here's
Ty Palmer gives it to Milo Johansson. At the top of the key, gonna drive in. Chaz with the ball, gives it to Clay. Clay to Ty. Ty, it's a little bit of an open look. He hits it!
35 to 12. As Pleasant Grove is now right back on defense, being a menace as it's poked out of bounds by Jackson Brown. So now the Beat Diggers are going to inbound. Inbounding the pass is Holden Warnick, the sophomore guard / forward, as he finds Steed. Steed working against Johansson. Drives in the whole way. Gets called for the charge.
The whole Pleasant Grove team, whole bench up on their feet.
We don't have time to show you a replay, but that's how you draw a charge. That's exactly what's drawn up when you try to draw a charge. He stood there, had his feet square with his shoulders, had his hands crossed in front of him, and, was ran right into, fell over, did it textbook, and got the result he wanted. Here's Palmer. He's going to give it to Hansen. Deep 3.
Oh, my goodness. That was a really clean one, barely making the net move.
Here's Cheney.
Back of the rim a little bit.
Finds Haggett. Gooden, excuse me. I don't know where I got Haggett from.
Ihachino? What's his name?
As there's a mistake forced by the Beat Diggers. So now here's Cheney. Finds a man. Drives against Hansen. Sinks it. 38-16. As here's Palmer. Palmer finds Johansson. Deep 3. Can't quite hit it. And the rebound grabbed by Doyle. Coming up the court is Cheney. Cheney finds Ihinacho. As there's a layup that's just missed by Gooden, and then
Brought
it's
in, and
it's
they're
out of
calling it
bounds
Pleasant
on
Grove ball.
it's out of bounds on Gooden, and he is not happy about it. And here are 5 new players for the Vikings. It's just a dead ball, and now Jordan's facing a whole new team.
We got
Mickelson, Rasmussen, Hilliard, Hadley, and Anderson into Rasmussen.
yeah. Here's Riker with the ball. Gets it to oh goodness.
What a
so
feed.
Fast. And I almost called him Evan Anderson. I think he is actually Evan Anderson's brother because he wears the same number as him back in the day.
The intro, Doyle dunks
There
it in.
he is.
40-18 moves the score, and the Vikings are right back on offense. Here's
Carson
Rasmussen.
fakes a three.
Mickelson, pump
Also
fake,
fakes the
drives
three.
in on Doyle. Back out to Rasmussen. Rasmussen, pump fake, step back,
Gonna do a
just
bit
dancing
of,
around.
Yeah, between the leg movements.
Crosses it to Mickelson.
Mickelson fakes another three, and there's a turnover because of a shoulder straight to Riker's chin.
There was a great screen set by Andrew Anderson in front of Mickelson to give him an open shot, but Anderson stumbled a little bit as
Cheney gives it to
contact was made.
Holden.
Cheney for 3 off the front of the back of the rim, and then a foul is going to be called on Ethan Hilliard. So he was trying to grab the rebound from Aiden Doyle. It's the Vikings' first of the quarter. There's 5:34 remaining.
Yeah. And, I think
Now Jordan substitutes.
Jordan's kind of playing a little bit faster than they were in the first quarter.
Yeah, so
Just a bit of a pep talk from their coach, a little bit of a break, trying to figure out what their game plan is. Here's Cheney.
Cheney exited.
That was actually
Thompson
Thompson.
enters. So here's Ihinacho as he finds
Cheney.
Thompson. Thompson, deep 3. Hits it.
Thompson. I keep calling him Cheney now. Dang it.
It's a 19-point game.
They both have blonde hair. I guess I'm just messing
Rasmussen to the corner. Anderson finds
it up to-
Hilliard.
Hilliard at the top of the key, gonna give it to Carson. Carson kind of fakes a 3. Spin move, down low, gives it to Hilliard.
Hadley with the rebound. Into Hilliard.
He
Left hand finger roll makes it 42-21 as now Thompson's getting doubled and a foul's called. The Vikings poked the ball out, but the foul was called. So with 4:56 remaining, the Beat Digger's going to get to try and inbound it again. As you were-
Ihinacho.
As-
He's number 2.
I'm sure we're pronouncing that wrong, and I apologize.
Yeah, we're sorry if we pronounce it wrong, but we are. He's looking.
Bomb! As it's intercepted by Riker Mickelson. I'm sorry for interrupting
You're
you.
okay. Here's Riker gonna drive into the left side,
Kicks it out.
That's Ryan Hadley for 3. He hits it.
We were talking about that, and that's going to be Riker Mickelson's, that could be his job, is drive it in, and the man was wide open in the corner, kicks it out, bang, 3 more points.
Ihinacho.
Bang,
He
3
hits
more
it.
points. Matches the effort.
He looks like. Is he their leading
Hadley,
scorer
fast
now?
break. Can't
No,
finish. It was a fancy layup.
Ihinacho, he just finally puts his first points on the board, actually.
Foul called
But
on Pleasant Grove.
He has been playing like a dog on defense. He's just been able to pressure the Vikings and force a couple turnovers this quarter already. I mean, 1 turnover the first quarter, and there's already been 3, 2.
Yeah.
So,
Welcome in a whole new Vikings team.
and we're back.
That's it.
Ty Palmer, Milo Johansson, Clay Hansen. Yeah, for a second I was like, totally just like brain exploded. I don't know.
Chaz Rose is in as the whole Vikings squad that was just in.
And that was Doyle.
The whole Vikings squad that was just in, you can see Ethan Hilliard, Carson Rasmussen, and Riker Mickelson are all grabbing water and taking a couple deep breaths on the sideline, trying to get their wits about them as they
Here's
were just playing a
Mackay.
hard couple minutes.
He gets kind of hit on defense a little bit, but
Doyle out to Warnick to Thompson. Thompson, three-pointer guarded by Hansen, can't
No
quite
good.
sink it,
This
but the
is-
rebound
there we
is
go.
fought
Warnick
for and
is
then grabbed by
stolen.
Peterson.
Peterson kicks it out. No good. Ty Palmer gets it back. Back out to Chaz. He shoots a 3. Oh, no good.
But the rebound grabbed by the
Taken by
Vikings.
Ty. My goodness, almost steps out of bounds. He's so close. Clay
Finds Phil
Hansen.
Hansen.
Back out to Ty. Trying to fake a 3. 11 seconds on the shot clock to Chaz. Chaz tries again. Airball to the right again.
I'm sure this is, like we said, Chaz Rose is a sophomore, so it's not easy to come into varsity and score some points. I'm sure he'll find his time. He's looking for an assist. Johansson can't quite sink it. Immediately triple teamed in the corner, and now just an easy dunk for Doyle as he puts it in to put it to a 19-point ball game.
And here comes a fresh new squad ready to sub in for Pleasant Grove.
Johansson back out to Palmer. Palmer to Hansen. Hansen for three.
He hits it. Oh my goodness. Clay Hansen is going off this game. Has 9 points. Becomes tied for the leading scorer.
Driving in was Trent Benson, who sinks it. The senior for the Beat Diggers hits the layup.
Sky Palmer gives it to Clay. Clay gives it to Chaz. Chaz down low, gives it back to Clay. He shoots another three. Oh, can't quite connect.
And it's fought for, but then a foul called on Johansson, and the Vikings will substitute. So in comes Hilliard, Hadley, Rasmussen, Mickelson, and Anderson. So
Chaz Rose couldn't really connect on either of his three-pointers, but I've known him for a while. His basketball journey has been crawling and clawing his way to get to on the teams that he wants to be on.
As the scoreboard in the arena just changed the score to 47-28.
Wow. Oh, did they call for two on Clay's last three?
Rasmussen puts it in, so 49-28.
I don't know where it changed, to be honest.
They're going off the statistician, and as we pointed out one of the mistakes, or not one of, I think he's only made one. He's done a great job throughout this entire tournament, but we pointed out a mistake he made, and I guess they're just trusting the statistician.
There
Ultimately,
is a mistake that the statistician did make, though.
For three, Hilliard sinks it.
Hits it.
So ultimately, the difference between a 22-point lead and a 23-point lead isn't really going to affect the Vikings too much. As it's intercepted by Hilliard. Anderson.
He shoots it, looks on target, not quite.
Mickelson grabs his rebound. Anderson again. Can't hit it. Mickelson grabs the rebound.
Mickelson.
To Hilliard. Hilliard for three.
Oh.
Tips it.
Almost taken out. Try not to audibly sound disappointed. That was absolutely my bad. But I do think Riker should try a three at one of these times here. You know, he probably could be able to draw a foul on it, to be honest. But he's filling his role as getting the rebounds and driving in to kick it to the open man or get the layup as best he can.
Benson, guarded by Rasmussen, finally crosses the timeline. And now it's poked free by Rasmussen. Benson still keeps control, finds Doyle. Doyle, little spin move floater, puts it in. Gets it to Hilliard now. Hilliard to Anderson. Anderson to Mickelson. Mickelson's now going to drive. Find Hadley. Hadley for three.
He hits it. My goodness.
55-32 with under a minute left in this first half. Hadley now pressing on defense.
Pleasant Grove's just connecting in every way.
The Beat Diggers have to find a way to start scoring more than just Doyle, and he can't hit that one. Here's Hilliard. 40 seconds left in the half. Hilliard to Hadley. Hadley for three.
Off the front of the run-in. Here's, oh my goodness, Benson to Hernick? What is his name?
Rebound Rasmussen.
Warnick. Warnick is number 24.
Rasmussen, Hezzy, Anderson for three. Bang!
Oh my goodness, not Evan Anderson, Andrew Anderson. I said Evan Anderson's name and now I'm cursed for all time. Pleasant Grove.
Tipped by Hilliard.
Crazy defense here.
Down to Doyle. Doyle gets called for the charge. Mickelson draws it.
My goodness.
Doyle lowers his shoulder a little bit. We're going to see if the Vikings will substitute players for the last 4.7 seconds of this half. So the big guy in foul trouble, Steed, for the Beat Diggers. He has three. Vikings have four guys with two, but nobody's hit that foul trouble mark just quite yet.
It is 5 fouls and you're out, not 6.
Hansen gets it into Palmer. Clock didn't start running until just barely. Palmer out to
Jackson Brown.
Hits it! Buzzer beater.
Oh my goodness.
61-32 is your score at the half. Watch Palmer drives in. He has a little more time than he thought, kicks it out, And nylon.
That's it. Nothing but the nylon of the net. My goodness, a half that I wasn't expected by a lot of people.
I don't think the Vikings scored 61 points more than 5 times last season. And we've been through a half of Pleasant Grove basketball, and they're at 61. The big number that's sticking out to me is they shot 33 three-pointers. I am being, in all seriousness, I don't think they shot that many combined last season.
Yeah.
I can check. I will bring that number up.
I think that Pleasant Grove probably shot 35 threes last year in the entire season. And we shot 33 in the half.
In the first half. So these stats are incomplete. They don't always show everything, which is a little frustrating, but there's not always stats for every single game. This says 0. This says we didn't attempt a three-pointer, which I know is incorrect. So.
Yeah, I mean, personally.
There were games where we went without attempting a three-pointer.
Yeah, and that's what we said at every pregame show. We're like, we need to attempt some threes.
Because what the Vikings were doing last season is they would pound the ball down low, but they wouldn't shoot threes. And just like in football, you have to have a run game to set up play action. In basketball, you have to be able to hit threes to set up being able to go down low. And vice versa. You have to be able to go down low to be able to, set yourself up to shoot threes.
Set up the three. And Riker Mickelson has been doing that to a T just absolutely perfectly, in my opinion. He's working hard, and it's work. And to be honest, this is the best I've seen Pleasant Grove perform in a long time. Last year, it was the Isaac Garrett show, and then for a couple games, it was the Carson show, and then Mike was out for a lot of the games last year. But
Mitten he left a big impact for this Pleasant Grove team.
Yeah.
But something that, like I was saying, you got to have the three-point shooting to set up the ability to go down low, and the Vikings in that first half, they attempted 11 shots that weren't three-pointers. They sunk 7 of them. So 7 for 11 from
not three.
For two-pointers is amazing for Pleasant Grove. So
at the high school level, a 44% field goal percentage is actually really good.
And Pleasant Grove is shooting 38% from 3 here in the first half. And if they can consistently hit that number this season, that's going to be, obviously there are going to be fluctuations. There might be a game they shoot 45%, and a game they shoot 30%, and maybe games they shoot lower than that or higher than that. But Pleasant Grove's looking really, really good from 3. They've got some sharpshooters out there. 13 for 34, which, again, doesn't sound like a good percentage. But go out and shoot 34 three-pointers with a guy in your face, and if you hit 13 of them, I'd be impressed. 8 for 10 from the line as well is also sticking out to me. I'm pretty sure it's 9 for 11 because they didn't mark one of Hadley's 3 free throws. But
yeah, and that's why the score got changed. It should be a 30-point lead.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Again, the difference between 29 and 30 for Pleasant Grove is not going to be a big deal. But let's look over at this Beat Diggers team.
Wait.
Nope, not quite.
It says that Riker Mickelson is tied for the leading scorer with Clay Hansen, who's hitting. Clay Hansen shooting 50% from 3. And as the music gets even louder in this stadium, and we have to talk even louder into our headsets, there we go. Now it's quieted down a little bit.
For a little bit.
And it also says Riker Mickelson has 9 points. He says he shot 3 for 3 from field goal.
So Riker Mickelson
hasn't shot a single three-pointer.
So Riker Mickelson hit 3 of the Vikings' 7, field shots that weren't threes. So that's how he got his points. He got 3. I think they were mostly layups. 3 layups off tough rebounds. He had 6 rebounds today.
He got an and one at one point. They weren't all and ones though. They would have to be all and ones to have 9 points.
He got the opportunity for a double bonus in the first quarter, so that's where the other 2 free throws come from.
Oh yes, I do remember that now.
So can we look at this Beat Diggers team really quick? Okay, so Aiden Doyle, he is their highest returning scorer, as I said. Wasn't their highest scorer last season, but their highest returning scorer. He is their highest scorer tonight as well. He has 12.
Hasn't shot a single three-pointer either. He has 12 points on 6 for 8 shooting.
And then Jacob Thompson has 8 points. He's 1 for 2 from 3. He's sunk 3 free throws as well. But something, a couple big stats that I'm noticing right now. We talked about it in the first half, but 17 turnovers in the first half for Jordan. Vikings had 3. Now, on the flip side, Vikings setting themselves up amazing. 16 assists to 3 turnovers is huge for this Pleasant Grove team. That's an assist-to-turnover ratio of over 5, which is exceptional in the level of high school basketball. Whereas the Beat Diggers are looking at a 12 to 17 assist-to-turnover ratio, which is about a 0.7 mark. And then another big thing for Pleasant Grove, 21 rebounds in the first half. If you're going to miss...
That is a number that I did not think I would see.
If you're going to miss 25 shots in the first half, but you get 21 rebounds, you're totally fine to miss 25 shots.
Absolutely. I mean, but shooting 20 for 45, at 44% field goal percentage, it's just like having those, the ball's being moved around like crazy, 16 assists for the whole team. I don't know what stats up now. What's this?
So these are the leaders throughout the game. There hasn't been a block this game, apparently. But the Vikings, if you're looking at their efficiency, which is obviously, it's a pretty self-explanatory stat. I'm honestly not completely sure exactly how it's calculated, but puts into effect, it puts into like, it considers what we were talking about. How many assists, your turnovers, your points, your rebounds, how many minutes you've played. And Riker Mickelson is hitting an 18-point efficiency right now. Udochi Ihinacho, the leader for Jordan, is at 9, as well as Aiden Doyle. The Vikings have 3 guys that have a 9 or higher efficiency score. And whereas usage percentage, which is, like we said, very, very similar to how we talked about efficiency, but it looks into more the player that is, getting the ball the most, taking the most shots, getting the ball the most, passing the ball the most, who's doing, as you might say, the most for this team. This isn't an all or nothing stat, but the Vikings have 2 guys at 35.62, Andrew Anderson and Ethan Hilliard, whereas Jordan, they've got Jacob Thompson, who's hitting a 44.05 clip for usage percentage, and that's huge for him. He's been the guy. Obviously, that's ignited and, ballooned a little bit by the fact that he's the one bringing the ball up the court every time. But as we said, nobody's really in foul trouble. Brant Steed has 3 for the Beat Diggers. Let's talk a little bit, though, Jack. Let's talk a little bit about the charges that were drawn down low and the impact that made for Pleasant Grove.
It's huge. I think that Pleasant Grove is getting better at drawing charges. Clay Hansen obviously showed that in the blue and white game and is showing it here too. He's had 2 charges drawn on him, as well as Riker having 1. Andrew Anderson tried to get 1 drawn on him, and some people might think, oh, how do you not get the charge drawn every single time? But you have to outdo your own brain to do it. It seems easy, but to stop yourself with someone running at you at max speed and then falling over on purpose, pretty much, it's harder than it seems like it should be.
As the ever-smiling Carson Rasmussen and the Vikings take the court. It's also a lot easier to smile when you're up 29 at halftime. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back to talk a little more about the first half and then lead you guys into the second half. It's Vikings 61, Beat Diggers 32 to open up the season. So the Vikings ended the first half on a 9-2 run in 1 minute and 28 seconds. They missed one three-pointer in that stretch. They hit three-pointers. The guys who hit those three-pointers were Jackson Brown, Andrew Anderson, and Ryan Hadley. And then Aiden Doyle hit a nice little jumper. Or no, they ended the half on a 9-0 run. I don't know why I included Doyle's. It took him 55 seconds to do that. So that's something you're going to see from this Pleasant Grove team is bursts of scoring. And I said that earlier in the half. The first time that, or the last time that the Beat Diggers had a lead, they were up by 2. And very, very quickly, the Vikings just turned around and were up by 6. And so that's going to be something big this season for Pleasant Grove is, you know, you can never count them out of a game. They're going to have scoring bursts, and they're going to have big games where, you know, they surprise some people, and they can go out and score a lot of points really quickly.
And you just saw Coach McAllister kind of giving a bit of a talk to his team, like, don't get too comfortable. Keep playing how you're playing, you know? Rasmussen
does just that. Tries to poke it out. Doyle sets a screen. Tries to fall back into the paint. Hadley, as it's airballed to the left by Jacob Thompson, excuse me. Anderson to Hilliard. Hilliard just is going to take a wide open three.
No good.
Mickelson
Riker
can't grab the rebound. Hilliard almost pokes it free, but the Beat Diggers retain possession.
Chaney gives it to
Doyle. That's a good find for Trent Benson.
Here's Pleasant Grove going down the court. Carson with the ball. Gives it to Hilliard. Drives in. Back out. Riker
Mickelson's
for
first three.
He almost hits it. Oh, my goodness.
Almost gets his own rebound, too. And that's going to be something.
That's going to be Vikings ball.
They're going to say that Ihinacho had his toe out of bounds when he tried to turn around and hit that ball off a Viking. That's a time that I think Pleasant Grove should probably take the drive. They had not an easy shot, but, you know, a very makeable shot down low. And, you know, that might be something that Pleasant Grove's going to have to work on is the discipline of when you kick it out and when you take it yourself, as Peterson's diving catch. Hansen for three.
He hits it. My goodness, Clay Hansen is a dead-eye shooter.
Nothing but net.
Becomes the leading scorer with 12. No longer tied with Riker.
He's 4 for 7 from 3.
That's Thompson for 3. No
Can't
good off the side of the rim.
Rebound, Johansson.
That's Jackson Brown. This is Ty Palmer.
He's going to kick it out. Corner,
That's
3.
Johansson for 3. No good. That's be Vikings ball.
I think it was Anderson who shot that 3.
No, Anderson's not on the court.
Oh, excuse me. I think that
Milo Johansson.
It was Johansson, excuse me. Jackson Brown
said Jackson Brown was Milo.
The one confusing me. Corner shot.
Ihinacho.
Can't quite connect. Rebound. Peterson fought for. Now he secures it. As Peterson's going to take it up the court. Crosses the timeline. Guarded by Thompson. Starts to drive in. Tries to kick it down low. Kicks it up top. 3 points.
Hansen. No, good off the back of the rim.
Ihinacho with the rebound. Fast break now. Hansen on defense. There's a blocking foul called. 6:06 remaining in the third quarter. That is Hansen's first.
Trent Benson gets the foul shot. Thompson going to inbound down low for the Beat Diggers.
Hansen guarding the inbound pass.
Gives it to Ihinacho.
Top of the key. Guarded by Anderson. I don't know why I keep saying Anderson.
Foul.
That's Ty Palmer. There's a lot of 20s on this team. There's 5. The only one we haven't seen today is Tyler Hudson, who wears number 25. So inbounding the pass now is Jacob Thompson. Guarded by Hansen. He's going to kick it up top to Benson. Benson finds Ihinacho. Ihinacho out to Chaney.
It's a deep 3. My goodness, can't get cleaner than that, to be honest. I say deep, but that's an NBA range, to be honest. It's Jackson Brown with the ball in the corner.
Kicks it out to Palmer.
Drives in a little bit to Makai Peterson. Back up top to Hansen. Gives it to Johansson in the corner. He hits it.
I want to watch that one back really quick. Basketball is a lot faster moving. We don't have a second to pause and talk about what happened, but that was just a great rotation as Doyle just makes a mistake and kicks it out down low. That was just a great rotation. It was Johansson who hit that 3, and he just did a great job of rotating. He took one step towards the top of the key as there's a corner shot.
No good.
Off the front of the rim. He did a great job of taking a step towards the top of the key. The defender started putting all his momentum that way, and then just Johansson found the corner and hit the shot.
Here's Iki Nacho with the ball, drives in, gives it to Doyle.
Peterson forces the mistake.
Yeah. Here's Mackay, drives in, lays up, no foul call. Kind of wanted it. He's going to run back on defense. There's Benson, gives it to Thompson.
Palmer called for the block. Vikings are going to try to draw a lot of charges this season because they're not big. You get a big guy down there, and
like you said, there hasn't been a single block this game.
Yeah, most big guys, as you watch Jazz basketball with Rudy Gobert, you'll know this. They're not the best with their footwork. They make a lot of mistakes, not super good with the jump stops and stopping all their momentum right away.
And that's what made Hakeem Olajuwon so good back in the day. We say he had amazing footwork. But yeah, with guys that are taller, it's harder to stop themselves all the way.
You'll see some bigs kind of try to run like a running back. They'll lower the shoulder, and that's what gets you called for a charge. So if the Vikings can work on that, and like you said, it's mentally hard to be willing to just kind of take that and fall to the ground.
To Hilliard. Hilliard kicks it out to Riker. Riker, whoa, way high pass. Carson gives the ball to Riker. Riker drives in, kicks out to Anderson. Anderson for three. He connects.
Holy cow, Riker Mickelson, have yourself a day, big guy. Another assist added on to the total for Mickelson. As he's just done such an amazing job. Tries to find Doyle down low. As I think Mickelson, it might have been Hilliard. Mickelson gets tagged for that foul.
I think it's this Nike Elite ball they're using instead of the Wilson, you know?
They've been using that one all tournament, so I'm guessing it's the tournament ball, but.
I know. But
so out comes Doyle,
like
out goes Iki Nacho.
I feel like the Nike ball should be the ball that they use, but I don't know.
Gets it in, barely to Steed. Steed out to Benson. Benson, deep three.
Off the back of the rim. Thompson gets the rebound, lays it in. Floater is good, gives it to Carson.
Rasmussen floats it. Anderson.
Kicks it back out.
Holy cow!
Ryan Hadley!
Anderson behind the back hits Hadley in stride. That's a highlight play.
Absolutely insane.
There's Steed. Steed, top of the key. Floats it down to Gooden. Gooden.
To Benson.
Benson finds Steed in the corner. Out to Cheney, excuse me.
And that is going to be Benson again here. Ethan
Hilliard
kind of thought about the three, thought about passing. Ryan knocked the ball.
Bounces it off his foot, but right to Hilliard.
Not a kickball violation. Carson shoots a three. No good. It's just his second this game. He hit his first.
So you'll also see the Vikings, their bench stands up, as most benches do. They stand up and they put up their hands in a three-point motion. Here's Rasmussen on fast break. Can't find Hilliard, just goes out of bounds. You'll see the teams will stand up and put their hands up with the 3 points out. The Vikings are going to be doing a lot of standing up and sitting down this season. They've shot 43 three-pointers now.
Here is Zane Windsor and Parker Van Dorn making his first appearance tonight, as well
as Tyler Hudson. Seen Tyler Hudson for the first time.
Wait. Yeah, Tyler Hudson. I thought it was Ty Palmer for a second. I was like, what? Yeah.
Deep three
Benson.
Again.
He hits it.
If
Benson
that's working, keep going for it. But something you'll see is Pleasant Grove's not going to go out and defend that.
Benson all of a sudden
three-pointer Van Dorn can't hit.
Good.
Chaz Rose, the sophomore, getting his first minutes as well. I think you already said that.
He played in the second quarter.
As Hudson grabs a ball on the ground and now pushes it up the court.
This is Preston White getting his first minutes.
The freshman.
He loses the ball.
It's a tough first possession, but there's going to be many, many more.
Steed shoots the three, and he connects, and all of a sudden,
it's a 23-point game.
And
all of the sudden.
Yeah.
As here's Rose. Rose drives, kicks it out to Windsor. Windsor for three. Can't connect.
Good.
Rebound, Steed.
Really not feeling the Riker Mick. Really feeling like the non-presence of Riker Mickelson. That is no good. And here's Preston White, and he was fouled from behind.
Preston White kind of had a hand on Gooden's shoulder. It was just boxing him out. It was a legal move, but the hand kind of went up and got to his shoulder. Gooden was a little frustrated about that. Might have been a foul in retaliation, but the foul called on Gooden, nonetheless, his second, excuse me.
Here's
Windsor drives, kicks it out.
Tyler Hudson. And that's going to be a pass off of Van Dorn's hand to out of bounds. And that's going to be a substitution. We're taking Thompson out for the Beat Diggers. They're putting in Poland Warnick.
So the Vikings have not shot a free throw since the first quarter.
Well, isn't that something?
And the Vikings are the ones in foul trouble now.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of and one or foul opportunities, to be honest. And that,
good drive by Steed to make it a 21-point ball game. Here's Windsor.
Pleasant Grove's going to bring out their next team. Here's Preston White. Fakes a three for a second there. Back out to Preston.
As that one's poked out by Cheney.
And here it comes Cheney driving in. And that was Pleasant Grove giving up easy buckets here. Kind of getting a little bit lazy on defense.
As Preston White.
Tyler Hudson drives in. Kicks it to
Windsor. Kicks it to the corner.
Chaz shoots a three. He connects!
As Windsor gets the assist on the sink.
And that's Chaz's first varsity points in a game.
Here's Gooden.
He's obviously scored.
Floater doesn't fall, but Warnick down low. Can't get his to fall either. Gooden gets the rebound for a little bit, and then it goes out to Benson.
3 seconds on the clock.
Benson's going to have to shoot it. Shoots it from about the free throw line, can't connect. So 75-53 is your score after three. The Vikings kind of started to put in a couple new guys and give them a little bit of varsity experience and really get them to get the feel of a varsity basketball game, and they kind of closed the lead a little bit. The Beat Diggers did that.
Only scoring 3 during that rotation. That was Chaz getting his first varsity points. Preston White gets his first varsity minutes. No points on the board.
A lot of firsts for these guys, and I think there's many more to come.
Preston White now has 2 turnovers in 3 minutes.
So once again, Pleasant Grove is now shooting the three at a 37% clip, and they're shooting just the field goals at a 42% clip. Meanwhile, the Beat Diggers, they've been successful from three. They're shooting 43%. They're 6 for 14, but they've only shot 14.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they continue to shoot some, they've hit a couple really, really tough three-pointers, but you have to expect maybe a little bit of recession to the mean if they start to take a lot of shots from three. But it's been what kind of helped them in the third quarter outscore the Vikings 21-14, and we'll see if it happens again as the Beat Diggers try to make a late push. It's going to have to be a really, really big quarter if they want to close the gap, down 22 in the fourth. But they've still got some great guys out there trying to make a difference. Vikings bring on Makai Peterson, Clay Hansen, Milo Johansson, Ty Palmer, and Jackson Brown. I don't know why, but I'm struggling keeping the 20, 22, 24, keeping all of them straight. Peterson will inbound to Palmer.
Here's Palmer with the ball. This is Makai Peterson, drives to the right, kicks it out. It's off the hands.
That's the time I'm saying
Beckham Prince.
Last season, Makai probably goes up and tries to shoot for that. Obviously, the help to go defend him is a little different because you probably got Isaac Garrett on the other side of the key being a big presence. But that's something I think the Vikings might talk about is, you can go up. You can try and take a layup. The three-pointers are what's working, as that one's hit and sunk by Jackson Brown. As bringing it up the court now is Steed. Steed, top of the key. Guarded by, not Anderson, excuse me. Steed drives and sinks one off the backboard. Palmer to Johansson.
Deflected.
Accidentally, it was deflected by Steed, and now
Oh,
Steed grabs it.
Stripped to the ball, slips on the court a little bit.
Hanson.
This is Steed. He's able to just drive in and get the layup.
Steed did a great job of staying out of the way of the charge. Hanson was set up to draw one. Steed went to his right side instead, made no contact, and Hanson couldn't draw it. So there's a foul going to be called on Holden Warnick. It's going to be his first. Micaiah Peterson is the only Viking with 3 fouls, the only Viking for Jordan. Excuse me, the only man with 3 fouls for Jordan remains Steed. So a good job in the second half by both teams to kind of not foul, basically. Jordan only had 1 in the first quarter of this half, the third
Carson
quarter.
fakes the 3, shoots it off the front of the rim. It's now 1 for 4.
Hadley grabs the rebound. That's a big boy rebound by a 6'1" man. As whistled for the foul is Warnick again, so his second. Or excuse me, not Warnick. Yes, Warnick. It's confusing out here. So Rasmussen is going to inbound, finds Hadley. Hadley immediately takes it, can't drop. Hilliard grabs the rebound. Hilliard to Rasmussen. Rasmussen back to Hilliard. Hilliard for the hoop.
3.
And gets it to fall. 81 points for Pleasant Grove as an injury timeout is going to be called. That's Steed. He's been so good today. As he gets up under his own power, he's grabbing that ankle. Likely twisted it. That's common in basketball. We hope he is okay. He's been huge for Jordan as Ihinachu is going to come in for him.
An official twisted ankle is an actual injury on the bones and the cartilage. It's going to be just a rolled ankle.
Yeah, Steed has 9 points. It is, you're right, it is just a rolled ankle.
When you roll it, it just hurts for a minute. When you twist it, you're actually going to have to sit out for a while, like probably at least 2 games.
Ihinachu, guarded by Rasmussen, 2-on-2. It's Beckham Prince.
This is Andrew Anderson. And
I think a foul was called.
Yes.
I'm not sure. But 6:24 remaining. As I thought it was a foul, but the ref never signaled to the scores table. There it is. So the foul is called on Prince.
Here's Riker Mickelson, gives it to Ryan Hadley. Gives it down low to Hilliard, and he is jump ball.
And so that's going to go the direction of the Beat Diggers. Now the Vikings back up a little bit on defense.
Okay, wait, did they change the ball to a foul?
Vikings get it now. So that's...
I thought it was jump ball and the Beat Diggers have possession. What is he pointing at? Okay, they tell
I think the ref was just a little confused about who had possession.
It was Pleasant Grove, so his Hilliard went up. And
so now the call is changed.
They officially changed it to the jump ball.
So now everything is sorted out, and the Beat Diggers are going to, well, we think everything is sorted out.
It looks like
now everything is sorted out.
Ihinacho.
Drives in on Rasmussen. Ihinacho kicks it out to Gooden, excuse me. Gooden now to Doyle.
Being defended hard by Riker. This is Ihinacho.
Jumper.
Does a free throw jumper. No good.
Foul called.
Over the back foul.
On Doyle. Tags him for his third. He has 14 points today.
Leading scorer for Beat Diggers.
It's now the Beat Diggers substitute. Hilliard, Hadley, Anderson, Rasmussen, and Mickelson in for this possession as that goes to Rasmussen.
Carson gonna rotate the ball to the left, gives it to Riker.
Mickelson to the corner.
Anderson gives it to Hadley, back out to Anderson. He shoots a 3, no good.
Doesn't get it to fall. 5:36 remaining in this ball game. Here's Doyle, fast break. And a block is called. That one was close. Andrew Anderson almost drew the charge, but didn't get completely set before contact was made.
Yeah, any sort of shimmying at all of the feet is going to cause a blocking foul.
I like to see Pleasant Grove trying to draw charges. I really like that as a fan. I think it's fun to see someone draw a charge because the players usually get so amped up after it. But
first shot, no good.
It's also,
Doyle,
like you said, and I'm going to keep heading on this all season, it's mentally, you have to be mentally tough to draw a charge.
Yeah. There's Doyle, hits the second, making it 58-81.
Rasmussen finds Hilliard. Hilliard drives. Now he kicks it out. Mickelson, pump fake to Rasmussen.
Rasmussen gives it to Hadley.
Got to put it up himself.
A little bit of a floater, kind of floater jumper from about 6 feet out.
As it is the fourth quarter, just so you guys know.
Yeah, it's not the third quarter.
As here's Cheney. Ihenacho's jumper doesn't fall.
Good.
Doyle grabs the rebound and lays it up. 83-60. As Rasmussen gets fouled immediately. That's going to put the Vikings into a double bonus opportunity. As
they're going to sub everyone out.
they were going to sub everyone out, but the one ref knew that it was a double bonus, so that meant Carson couldn't leave because he's got to take his shots. So the Vikings are just going to have 4 players hang out by their bench until this shot is taken. Rasmussen was a steady presence at the line last season, looking to continue that success here as he sinks the first one.
Making it 84-60.
So Rasmussen, as now Chaz Rose is in, as well as Finn Spilsbury, the Vikings' tallest player. Rasmussen second. Doesn't fall. To Cheney. Cheney to Ihenacho. Doesn't fall.
Good.
Rebound Rose. Rose pushes it up the court. Rasmussen
Gives it
behind the back pass.
Back out to Chaz. He was absolutely hit right
And
in
he
the
is
stomach.
in pain.
He falls onto a coach, writhing in pain. He was hit right in the midsection. It's not great.
One limping step, but he looks like he's doing all good now. So Rose visibly shaken up, but he's going to take his 2 free throws.
4:36 on the clock left.
Hits the first one. So guess what 85 points is, Jack?
The most we've scored in the last 2 seasons.
Last season, the Vikings' season high was 84 against the Clearfield Falcons in the first round of the playoffs. They're at 86 now, and there's 4.5 minutes left to go here.
Yep.
I think the Vikings' goal is to make it so the scoreboard can't show the information it needs to.
That'd be awesome. Haven't ever seen it. It's gotten close. One time.
There's a floater. Cheney gets his own rebound. Can't hit the second one. Out of bounds. It's off a Viking. There's 4:19 left to go. It's tough. It'll be tough if Pleasant Grove does try to go for the 100-point mark. Rebound to Ihenacho.
Gets it into Doyle. Leans in for the floater.
As here's White. White hands it off. Chaz gets stripped by Doyle.
4 minutes to go. Here's
as it's poked out by Rose. Rose read that perfectly. Guarded by Doyle. Can't draw the and now he does draw the foul.
Very nice.
In sync up here and on the court.
86-62 automatically. I mean, to be honest, those 2 basketball games aren't even that far apart. There's only been one in between them that was officially sanctioned. And that game ended very unfortunately.
As Rose can't hit his first. There's frustration about that Lone Peak game that we're not going to bring up because I want to stay in a good mood.
Here's Chaz with the second.
Can't
No
get
good
that one to
again.
drop either. Both of them bounced around on the rim
Jordan.
before falling out.
Jordan would have won the free Chick-fil-A if it was the Delta Center. And if,
Well, we're not the opposing team.
if Pleasant Grove was the opposing. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
But
White takes the inbound from Spilsbury. White just takes
a
his own three.
Almost hits it, too. No good, though.
This is a group of guys that are playing to earn varsity minutes right here. Spilsbury contests a three that's sunk.
That's Thompson. Here's White going down the court, leading the ball, gives it to Chaz. Chaz shoots a deep three. No
Looks
good.
so beautiful out of the hands, but just not enough power on it.
That's me.
That's now the Vikings sub. So in comes Makai Peterson, Clay Hansen, and the 20s group. I'm just going to call them that. It's Milo Johansson, Ty Palmer, and Jackson Brown.
And Jordan also does a 5-person substitution. So it's a whole new team for them as well.
Let's just start a brand new ball game.
Max Brown is now in for Beat Diggers. Here's
Hansen to
Makai.
Peterson. Peterson out to Palmer. Palmer drives in, left hand, kicks it out.
Jackson Brown back out to Milo, to Ty. Stripped to the ball now. Here is Steed. Steed's been playing so good for these Beat Diggers.
And now he's stripped by Palmer. Palmer, fast break. Goes up left hand, can't get it to fall.
Can't
Rebound,
get it.
Johansson.
Gets it, almost loses his dribble. Gets it back. This Jackson Brown fakes the three, gonna drive in, and he loses the ball.
I'm gonna say it went out on a Beat Digger.
Yeah.
Number 15, Nathan Osborne, getting his first minutes for Jordan. So Iheanacho, who is not on the court, as well as Doyle, who is also not on the court, are two Beat Diggers with 4 fouls. Now the Vikings just have a couple guys with 3. Kicks it out, 3.
Milo.
Gang.
Hit that.
89 to 65. This is, you know, these are scores that you would never see in a Pleasant Grove game last season. That last team wasn't capable of scoring 89 points, just to put it bluntly.
They were also,
As there's Ty Palmer on a fast break. 2 hands, put it up. And he just lays it up and in to take the Vikings over the 90-point threshold.
not sure if Ty Palmer can dunk it.
We're looking for dunks from this Pleasant Grove team this season because they're small,
Foul.
and we want to see it because we think it's cool.
Ty Palmer fouls Steed, trying to get the first block of the game. Still 0 blocks, 1 block.
For Prince.
Prince. So Prince played,
Beckham Prince for the Beat Diggers, who's in now.
he got 1 rebound and 1 block in 2 minutes.
That's a pretty good stat line.
Pretty cool. Connects with his first, that's Steed.
So the Vikings team last season, they didn't score a lot. Just to put it simply, but they would play absolutely stifling defense. Once you crossed the timeline, you were not going to have an easy pass or an easy shot anywhere on the court with last season's Vikings team. This year, they're trying to do the same thing, but they're going to try and make you work for it the whole way of the court as White gets his first rebound.
Behind the back to slow it down. Gives it to Van Dorn. No good.
Can't
Gets
hit.
it back.
Grabs his own rebound.
Gives it to Preston White. He shoots a 3. No good again.
3-pointer now for the Beat Diggers.
Indeed,
Falls.
that is
It's
Warnick.
Warnick. Vikings still going fast, and they're never going to stop going fast. Windsor kicks it out to White. White. I can't see that number. To Spilsbury. Spilsbury to White.
Back out to Spilsbury.
Spilsbury can shoot. He is a big guy, but he can shoot threes. He's going to go to the line to try and shoot free throws. He's got 2.
Minute 13 to go here.
Yeah, you don't usually see those big guys shooting threes, but you're starting to see it a little more and more. And
They call it the stretch 5, but no one's really a 5 on this team. They're all listed as guards.
.92 to 69 is your score.
Spilsbury is as tall as some NBA forwards, so you could consider him an NBA forward. but they're all listed as guards, which is kind of hilarious. So.
As there's a defensive foul, I believe, called on Van Dorn, so they're going to take it from the baseline. Man, 93-69, it just kind of blows my mind because that's not something we saw at all last season. And again, not because the players were bad. Vikings just played a very, very different style of basketball. As the drive continues, it's Prince. Double teamed, tries to drop it in down low, and it goes out of bounds.
It's the Vikings ball. 55 seconds to go.
I really want 7 points. So the Vikings are going to check in. Windsor is going to come out, and I believe that's number 12, Chaz Rose, who comes in. It is Chaz Rose.
It is Chaz Rose. So
this is probably going to be the unit the Vikings finish the game with. There's less than a minute left.
Gives it to Preston White. To Chaz. Chaz going to face three, going to drive in, kicks out to Van Dorn. Van Dorn can't connect.
Rebound Rose. Rose.
Down low.
He's going to kick it out to Spilsbury.
Can't connect either. Looked so good.
30 seconds left in this ball game. Heave.
Block
As it's
by Spilsbury. The first block of the game in the last 30 seconds.
first block of the game for the Vikings.
Yeah.
As that one's fumbled a little bit. And you might be wondering, why are these teams still going full speed? Like, obviously, there's only 20, there's a 24-point difference and there's 10 seconds left in this game. But as I mentioned earlier, for Pleasant Grove, they're going full speed because these are boys fighting for varsity minutes. These are boys who are trying to be able to play these minutes against region teams, against the Lone Peaks, against the American Forks. And for Jordan, this is a team that's trying to figure out what they can do, because their first game they struggled offensively. They scored less than 40 points. And this game, they've been great offensively, dropped almost nearly a 70 bomb, and they could still hit 70, going for 72, and they get it. That's where it's going to end, is 93-72. But they're trying to figure out now what they can do defensively to kind of step it up. So 93-72 is your score. We're going to have a fast reaction because we got somewhere to go. But what did you see that you liked? One thing you liked, one thing that you think Pleasant Grove can improve on?
One thing I liked, 93 points.
That's all you got to say.
Simply as that.
One thing to improve on.
Our three-point percentage, 20 of 56 is 35%. Really good. Our improvements, we had 10 turnovers. Not as bad as Jordan, but definitely not the amount we want.
One thing I liked.
Turnovers in a game, but I don't, especially it was our third string. Our first and second string are pretty much just the first string, and so the third string is kind of like the second string of JV players. They were giving them minutes, and it was just, maybe it's his first game on varsity, kind of like jitters. I always say jitters, but that's what it is. So
one thing I liked is forcing 25 turnovers for the other team. And one thing that I thought could be better is allowing 72 points. Obviously, some of those were in garbage time, but ultimately defense might have to turn it up a little bit. The MVP for this game was Ethan Hilliard, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 or no assists. That was the MVP given by the Hoop Fest tournament. We'll have our own play of the game, but we'll let you know about that next time. Thank you for tuning in to PGSN today. Our next broadcast will be on Tuesday next week as the Vikings take on the Davis Darts here in Valhalla. Once again, thank you for tuning in. I'm Alan Judson.
And I'm Jack Barnard.
And we will see you on Tuesday.